In addition to the many powerful tools provided in VectorWorks Architect for the creation of elements such as windows, roofs, and site models, the new 3D modeling tools in VectorWorks 10.5 can be used to create quick architectural studies and massing models. Let's look at how some of these tools can be used to create a quick sketch model. In about 4 minutes, we'll create this simple landform and massing model. I'll start with a few major contours taken from the site plan. These objects are simple polygons that have been converted to NURBS curves and then given a height. Using the Loft tool, I can easily create a NURBS surface that represents the site. Next, I'll paste some 2D polygons from my site plan. Then, using the Project tool, I'll project this shape onto the surface of the site, splitting the surface and creating a road and parking area that can be colored differently from the rest of the site. Note how the projected shapes follow the curve of the site model. These polygons represent the building footprint and the platform on which the building sits. I'll convert them to NURBS curves and then move them up in space. The platform can be created by using the Project tool, which projects the NURBS curve downwards, fitting it to the surface of the site model. Now watch how I'll use the Protrusion tool in 3 different ways to create the massing. First, I'll use the Extrude Face mode to extend the building footprint up to the height that I want. Next, I'll place a bay on this end of the building. To make sure I'm modeling directly on this plane, I'll set the working plane to this face by clicking to define the axes, then aligning my view to the working plane so that I look at the end of the building straight on. I'll create a rectangle to define the size of my bay, and then convert it to a NURBS curve. Now, using the Extrude Curve mode of the Protrusion tool, I'll add my bay to the building mass. As with all of these steps, I can either work in sketch fashion, just creating these shapes at the approximate size I want, or I can type a precise size in the distance field. Now I'll use the Protrusion tool to carve a volume out of this side of the building. Once again, I'll set the working plane to the building face, create a rectangle, and then convert it to a NURBS curve. This time, I'll choose to subtract the volume instead of adding it, creating a recess in the building. With the building mass now taking shape, let's create the roof. I'll extrude this 2D polygon, and then from the side view, move it up into position. Using the Rotate tool, I can give the roof face the appropriate pitch, and then I'll mirror the shape to create the other half of the roof. With both halves created, I can simply combine them together using the Add Solids command. I'll also create a cutout from the roof by drawing a circle in plan, converting it to a NURBS curve, and then extending it with the Protrusion tool so that it becomes a solid subtraction. Finally, we have to fill the gap between the roof and building mass. I'll extract the edges of this shape as NURBS curves, and use the Compose command to combine them into one. This curve can now be projected up to the underside of the roof. VectorWorks modeling tools allowed me to draw this massing study quickly and fluidly. The model could be used as is, further developed with more fine-scale architectural elements, or used as the basis of plan and elevation drawings.